go ahead and we're going to lay down on the roll. So we're just going to place it down in this long position here. My roll is not straight. So I'd like you to have your weights handy. So best place for them would be kind of behind the head area. So let's have those handy. We're going to sit on one side of the roll and then just bring yourself all the way down into that nice, comfy kind of position from here. So just make sure that you feel weighted on the back of your pelvis. So you feel that tailbone down, right? So you feel everything down, head, everything is on the roll. Good. And we're just going to start with these little scoops. So from here, almost like you're headed towards a bridge, we're going to pull the belly in. So I'm going to come to my fingertips. You can keep the whole arm down if you need that extra balance. And I'm going to take my low belly, I'm going to scoop it in, and I'm going to feel my low back, pull back and press into the roll. And then I'm just going to release my pelvis until I feel the weight come back into my tailbone area. Let's try that again. Exhale, hollow out that belly as we pull it back, feeling the glutes connect, and then releasing forward. So I'd like you to pay attention to your neck. As you draw the belly back and you feel that low back imprint, don't let your chin pop forward or up towards the ceiling. Okay, try to keep from moving the neck as you move the pelvis. Let's do this a few more times. And scoop out that belly and release back into your neutral. And again, scoop out the belly and release back to neutral. Let's do this 2 more times. And scoop. And release. Last one. And coming back to neutral. So neutral being where you have the weight on that tailbone a little bit more than you do the rest of your pelvis. So on this one, to make it harder, you can bring your legs a little wider and come up to your toes. So that's how you challenge yourself on this one. It's going to challenge that balance. You don't have to do that. You can feel free to keep both those feet down. So we're going to start here with both arms to the ceiling. So I'm on my toes. My feet are a little wider. I'm going to begin by just letting my arms open to the side. And I'm going to feel those shoulder blades kind of squeeze gently around the roll. I'm going to engage my belly, and I'm going to exhale as I lift those arms back up. Inhale, opening the arms out, feeling those shoulder blades kind of hug around that roll. Tighten that belly and exhale. So as you're tightening your belly to lift those arms up, we're not imprinting the spine. We're just kind of hugging our belly button in towards the spine without the movement of the torso. So we're just engaging. Let's do a couple more. Exhale. Try to keep equal pressure on the toes and try to keep that neck from wanting to move around. Exhale again. Bring the arms up. Let's pause here. We're going to come into a hug a tree position. And I'm going to pretend like I'm holding on to some weights in my hand right now. So my chin is parallel to the floor. My movement is going to come again from the shoulders. I'm going to pull my arms apart from the shoulders. Again, feeling those shoulder blades hug around the roll. Exhale as I hug that imaginary tree. And inhale. And exhale. And you can allow yourself to really let those arms open from those shoulders. Feel those shoulder blades hug around that roll. Feel maybe a little stretch through the front of your shoulders. And up. Let's do a few more. Inhale. And again. It's just kind of getting that nice little massage through the shoulder blades. Last one. Up, and then we're just going to straighten those arms to the ceiling again, fingertips kind of reaching towards the ceiling. So on this one, everything remains nice and still except for the shoulders. You're going to reach those arms and those fingertips up to the ceiling, rounding the shoulders up and away from the floor. Now think of the shoulders pulling back towards the floor. So you're not bending the arms. Arms are staying long. Inhale, reach the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, pull those shoulders back towards the floor. Up and down with the shoulders. Up and down with those shoulders. Feeling that nice kind of massage going on through the shoulder blades. I always have one side that's a lot tighter than the other. So it's just about kind of working that out, right? So we're gonna pull the shoulders down this time as far as you can. So my shoulder blades are hugging the roll, and I'm gonna keep them hugging the roll. And I'm gonna glide my shoulders up towards my ears. And then I'm going to glide them back down towards my glutes, right? Or towards my mid-back. Keep hugging the roll with the shoulder blades. So the shoulders are heavy. They're hanging towards the floor behind you as you're gliding the shoulders up and down. Keep the shoulders heavy around that roll. You should feel some nice, deep kind of massage work going on through those shoulder blades, the inner portion of those shoulder blades. Let's do 2 more. 2 and 1, and we can lower those heels down to the floor and let those arms just come out in a T position and let them kind of rest on the floor and feel maybe a little stretch through the front of your chest. If you need more of a stretch, just lift the arms up a little higher behind you, and that'll get you more into the stretch. But you want to find that place where you can just keep those elbows slightly on the floor, lightly. And just let it stretch. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Good. So I'm going to add on the weights. Again, that's optional. So I'm just going to reach behind me. I'm going to grab onto my weights. And we're going to start with that same huggetry that we had done earlier. So we have those weights in our hands. I have 2-pound weights. Our arms are in a huggetry position. I'm feeling my neutral pelvis. So I feel that tailbone slightly heavy. And then we're going to open from the shoulders. So we're going to inhale. And exhale. Imagine rounding those arms around that tree. Movement comes from the shoulders, not the elbows. Exhale as we wrap those arms up and around that tree, keeping that nice rounded position through our arms. Inhale. Engage your belly. Exhale. We talked a little bit about hugging that belly button in towards the spine as we exhale without letting the movement come into the spine. So everything stays still. You just feel that connection. Let's do 2. Last one. And now we're going to just bend our elbows down by our side. And from here, we're going to think of those weights just hanging heavy in our hands. And as you exhale, we're just going to press them up to the ceiling. When you get them to the ceiling, you're going to round those shoulders up as you reach those weights as high up as you can. And now we're pulling those shoulders back down towards the floor before bending those elbows back in. So let's just do that a few times. Exhale. Press up, rounding up through the shoulders. Pull the shoulders back down to the floor. Bend the elbows. 2 more. And up. Reach up, rounding the shoulders. Pull the shoulders back. And bend the elbows. 1 more time. And up. And reach. And back. And down. We're going to reach those arms up to the ceiling 1 more time. And from here, we're just going to send one arm towards our legs as the other one comes behind you. And then we're going to bring them back up to the ceiling. Nice and slow. They meet right above the chest. Just alternate. Go to the other side. Trying to stay stable on the roll. So again, if you want that extra work, come to the toes. The extra work comes into the balance. Keeping that nice balance on the roll. Inhale. Exhale. Let's just do 1 more on each side. And then bringing both those arms back up, we're gonna hold. So this one a little bit harder. So we're gonna open and close the arms again, but only one at a time. So I'm gonna let my right arm open to the side. I'm gonna keep my centering on the roll as I exhale and pull it back up. Inhale, open out to the other side, and exhale. So check in with your chin, right? Lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale, open that other arm, exhale. Try to focus on maintaining that belly connection, especially on that exhale as you drag that weight back up to the ceiling. One more on each side. Last set of 2 here. We're going to hold and two sets of something else. All right, so from here, we're gonna start again with what we had done earlier, where one hand is gonna come behind, the other arm is gonna come down. But now, instead of just switching them straight up, you're gonna circle them around in opposite directions, and then bring them back up to the ceiling. Now go the other way. So now my right arm comes down, left arm behind, circling them, switching the positions of the arms, bringing them up. Left arm down, right arm back, and switch. And right arm down, and switch. And left arm down, and switch. One more time, right arm down, and switch. Bringing those arms up to the ceiling, bring the weights together. So you're gonna bend the elbows. Don't let yourself hit yourself in the head with the weights, right? So they're gonna go kind of behind your forehead, just behind. But now I want you to take your elbows and squeeze them together. So from here, all you're gonna do is movement is from the shoulder. You're gonna pull your elbows towards your belly, keeping the elbows together, and now let those weights come back behind the head, like you're shaving off your hair, right? Squeeze the elbows together as you pull the elbows towards the belly. Keeping those elbows together as you reach the hands behind the head. Squeeze the elbows together. So this is all shoulder glide. Inhale, hands back. Squeeze those elbows. Exhale, pull forward. Let's do 3. 2. 1. We're going to take those hands back behind that head. We're going to separate the elbows, but keep the weights together. And from here, we just extend from the elbow. And then bend. So just this slow little tricep press here. So I'm still on my toes, but if you get tired, you can put those heels down on the floor. Let's do 4. And 3. 2. And 1. And everything can come down. We're just going to rest here for just a moment. We can straighten those legs out, actually. Nice wide stance, letting that belly kind of stretch and lengthen. And just some nice deep breaths. Letting the spine kind of just relax on the roll, letting the shoulders relax around that roll. And just letting everything kind of melt. So on this one, you can use those hands because that'll help guide, but I don't want you to press too much. We're gonna do a roll up, keep the legs where they're at. We're gonna start with the chin tuck. So we're gonna bring that head in. Now we're gonna lift with the chest and we're gonna curl all the way up until you're sitting right on the edge of your roll, right? And then you're gonna scoop out that belly and slowly curl back. If your tailbone hurts, don't come up so high. I hear a lot of moaning in the room. All right, let's do that again. And chin up first. Tuck, curl up. All the way. And curl down. Just one more time. We're coming up. We're going to stay there. And up. And you can bend those knees. Come off of that roll. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, roll out the tailbone. Sorry, Phyllis.
I got my thing here.
Okay, good. I know, that's a difficult thing. All right. So we're gonna come with our feet on the roll, and we're gonna kind of hug those knees into chest. We're gonna start almost like we're rolling like a ball. Right? And then as we press the roll out, so feet are on the roll, as we press the roll out, we're going to sit up nice and tall. Right? And it's fine that we're leaned back. You don't have to be super upright. But then as we pull that roll back underneath, we scoop, pulling it in. Send the roll out, straighten the spine, and scoop the roll in. And send it out, straighten up, and scoop. Let's do 3. And 2. And 1 more. And take it out. So I have to kind of maneuver mine a little bit more. So we're going to start again with that little scoop position. We're just going to add on. So we're going to add on a little twist. So this time, as we send the roll out, we'll start here. As we send the roll out, we're going to grow tall and twist. And then we're going to come back, scooping that roll in. Other side. And scoop. 2 more on each side. If you need to adjust your roll, adjust the roll. Tends to creep up. And hug those knees into chest and just relax that spine. Good. Press that roll all the way out. We did a version of this in my class last week on the floor. This is kind of a reverse plank position. So from here, we're going to take our hands, fingertips kind of face the roll. Okay. My ankles are just right on that roll. And as I come up, I'm going to press down through my legs. I'm going to lift my pelvis. And I'm going to come to this nice kind of reverse plank. And then I'm going to set my glutes right back down onto the floor. Okay. So we're just going to do that a couple of times. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. One more time. And exhale. And inhale. And then just let yourself kind of stretch forward. So just like we did the other day, and round out those wrists. We're only going to do one more here with the wrist position. Just like we did the other day, we're going to come up to that reverse plank, but this time instead of setting the glutes down, we're going to keep them lifted as we reach them back towards the hands. Okay? So we're going to lift up to our reverse plank. And now, as we bring the glutes to the floor, keep them up, take them behind the hands if you can. Reach all the way back out to your reverse plank. 2 more. Pull down and back. And reverse plank. 1 more. And set your glutes down. Take those feet just on the outside of that roll. So nice kind of wide position. And let's just stretch forward. So just allow yourself to kind of come into this stretch. Okay. I rode a horse all weekend and my inner legs.
Oh my God, that was me yesterday.
Yikes.
Feel your veins.
Yes, yes. I'm so glad somebody does. Because, man, I am tight. So let your back stretch, let your back round, and just relax. All right, we're going to grab onto that roll. We're going to slide those legs all the way together. And we are going to do some curl downs with the roll on our legs. So we're going to sit nice and tall, and then we're just going to scoop with that low belly. And we're going to curl back, keeping the roll in contact with our body. So just let it come with you. Same thing on the way up. So you're going to start with chin tuck, Press into the roll slightly and curl up, rounding forward as that roll reaches all the way to those ankles. Stretch forward, stack your vertebra all the way to that nice straight spine. And scoop, curl back, nice and slow on the way down. Deep breath in, exhale, eyes to the roll, curl up, stretch forward, stack up, scoop, curl, and deep breath in, exhale, eyes to the roll. All right, we're going to reach forward. We're going to stack it back up. And then we're going to grab that roll on the outer edges. We're going to go into some little kind of half teaser, half banana. Half teaser, half banana. So a little bit bigger than a banana, but not as big as a full teaser. How's that? All right, roll in front of you. All right, we're going to curl back. We're going to bring ourselves to the floor. And as we do, we're going to bring that roll up and just slightly behind you. You don't have to bring it all the way behind you. So on this one, as we reach the roll up, we're going to curl up and lift those legs. Right? So a little bit higher than that banana, not quite a full teaser. And roll it down. And again, exhale. And roll it down. And up. And down, two more. And up. Try to keep those shoulders out of the ears. One more. And up. And down. All right. So we're going to come up one more time. And on this last one, we're going to hold. And then all we're going to do is lower and lift the legs. So come up to your, whatever that is. Hold. So my roll is at my legs. I'm going to lower my legs. I'm going to lift them and tap the roll. Lower and tap. Scoop that belly. Shoulders down. 3, 2, 1. Roll it down. And stretch that out. Good job, you guys. Yeah. All right, we're going to set the roll off to the side, and we're going to just turn onto our side. So a couple of things here. We're going to do some clams, but we're going to do it in our side lifted plank position, okay? If this is too much for you, then you just kind of put the roll on the waist to come up so that you have support underneath you, all right? So this is perfectly fine. We're going to be doing our clams, but then when we go into our little teaser, you'll need to, well, you don't even need to take the roll away. So it doesn't matter. So we're going to start here. So we have this nice, we're going to line up our feet, one stacked on top of the other, and we're going to start by kind of lifting away from the floor. So we want to pick up our waist away from the floor. Hand can come on to our waist. And we're going to start with that side plank lift. So we're going to lift up. We're going to hold. Squeeze the heels together and lift that top knee up and down. So keep pressing through the floor. Keep lifting that body like we're lifting it up and away from that floor. And really try to not roll back on those hips. Right? So you want to keep those hips facing forward. So let's lift on this last one. Let's hold and let's pulse it up from here. Pulse, pulse, very small little pulse. Try to get into that glute med. Keep that body lifted. 4, 3, 2, hold, keep the legs open. Sit that hip down, lift it back up. Squeeze the heels, lift the hips. Squeeze the heels, lift the hips. 3 more. 3, 2, 1, and close those legs. Arm comes up overhead, legs lengthen, stretch. So all we're gonna do is kind of roll back to our hips. As we sweep that arm forward, we're gonna lift those legs, reach towards those ankles, come back to your stretch. And lift. And back to your stretch, nice and slow. And up. And down. 3 more. And up. And down. 2 more. Really try to lift those legs up. Try to get into that oblique. And down. And just stretch. All right. Let's do that on the other side. Yay.
In the basket in the corner over here.
Do you feel? All right. Yeah. Elbow is down. Feet are stacked. So we're going to start with that hip lift, right? So we're going to lift up, find your position, make sure you can lift up and you feel comfortable in that position. So we're lifting from the floor. Squeeze the heels, lift the knee. And down. And up. Try to keep that shoulder out of the ear. So just keep pressing through the floor. Keep that hip lifted. Really lift through that body. Pull that belly in. 2 more. And 2. We're holding. Hold and pulse it up. Pulse. Pulse. Really try to get into that glute med. Keep that body nice and plank-like. Lift the hips a little bit more. 3, 2, hold it open. Lower the hips. Squeeze the heels, lift. And lower. And up. And up. And 3, 2, 1. Lower down, close those legs. Second side is always harder. Arm comes up overhead, legs are lengthened. So remember from here, nice and slow, little half teaser here. As we roll back, we stay on the arm, we lift, and we slowly come back down to that stretch. And up, and down, and up, and down. 3 more, up. Really try to get into that oblique on the top. So the higher you lift those legs, the more that happens. And all the way down, give a nice stretch. And in. All right, so on this next one, we're going to do some glutes. And I'm going to give you some alternatives, all right, including for the ladies that are here. Although you ladies don't have a chair or a wall, you can always choose to do this in 4-point kneel. I'm going to do it standing, and I'm going to grab my roll. And this is a lot of balance. All right, so what it's going to look like is our typical glute work, where we're in this hinge position. We're going to, I better come forward. I'm going to kick those curtains right out from underneath me. And then we're going to do, one-legged little lifts, little extensions, external little lifts, and little extensions, okay? So this is going to be the work. The roll makes it very balancy. You have to really work at that. So again, a chair, a wall, or 4-point kneel is also
Not the same.
So we're going to start, I'm going to start with my right leg, and I'm going to take my hips far enough away where I feel a little weight into the roll.
Me, I think.
And I'm going to take my right knee, bending it. I'm going to flatten my foot so it's going to come into a little bit of a flex. I'm going to find that good position for me, all right? So from here, I'm going to hinge forward, lifting my knee away from the floor until I begin to find my glute muscle of that same leg. And I'm going to press little presses
Trying.
up to the ceiling, keeping my belly lifted from the floor. Try not to hang into the roll too much. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2. Now we're gonna hold on the last one and just let your leg extend. Flex the foot, pull it back. Point and extend. Flex, point. Flex, point, 2 more. Flex, point, last one. Point, bring that leg down and just give yourself a stretch. Come back up. One more on this other side, or I mean on the same side. So on this one, it's more external position. So we again bend the knee, we bring it up. But now once we get there, we turn to external, and it's okay to let the hips kind of come with you. Keeping this little frog position, we're just gonna pulse it up. Keep your eyes at the floor. Trying to get into that glute med. Let's do 3, 2, hold it up there. Now extend, point, flex and pull. Point, flex and pull. Out. You can feel a little hamstring here too. Let's do 2. Last one. And bring it in and stretch it out. Shake out those legs. I will turn around. You guys can stay wherever you're at. So, other side, okay? So we're coming back into that same position. So we're gonna reach back with those hips, find that place, it's good for you. I'm gonna bend now my other leg, flex my foot, and I'm gonna take it back and up until I find where my glute connects. And then I'm gonna pulse it up from there. Ooh, this side is my tough side. Pull that belly in. Keep that standing leg soft. Three, 2, hold, extend, pull in on that flex. 3, 2, 1, and bring it in and stretch it out. Last one. See if I can do it without falling. All right, we start the same way. Bend that knee, bring it up, and now turn a little external, so that little frog, and we start with that pulse up. Make sure you have the glute before you start the pulse. Belly is lifted. Up, 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 up. 3 more. 3, 2, hold, point and extend, flex and bend. 3 more. And bring it in and stretch it out. Whew. Those are not so easy. They're not so easy. Stretch, stretch, stretch. So as you take those hips behind you, bend one knee and reach the opposite hip back even further. Really stretch. You get that stretch all the way through kind of that waist. Do that on the other side. Stretch. And come back and roll all the way back up. All right, we are going back to the floor. Woo-hoo. All right. We're gonna go ahead and lay this down in a horizontal position. And when we come down, you can start by sitting on it, because that's always a nice place to start. And then we can take those arms behind you, roll off of it so that the roll comes in front of your glutes and under your knees. And then make sure you have room on your mat. And I'm gonna roll myself all the way down. And we're gonna start with just pulling that roll underneath our pelvis. So this nice, solid, stable position. And we're gonna pull those legs up into a tabletop. So right from here, okay? And then from here, we're gonna extend those legs to the ceiling. So we're gonna take our right leg, we're gonna lower that leg down. And then as we exhale and lift it up, pull that belly deep, hug that belly button into spine, other side. You can hold on to the roll. Inhale. And inhale. One more on each side. Inhale. Hold. So now we're going to switch the legs at the same time. So we're going to lower that one leg. This is our start position. So let's go ahead and switch them out. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs together. Hold. Froggy those legs in. So keep that pelvis square on that roll. Squeeze those heels together, sending both legs out. Nice and slow. Inhale, bend. Don't let the knees come past the hips. Squeeze those heels. Press those legs out. Inhale back in. Really focus on keeping that rib cage cinching closed. If you want more work, take the legs down a little lower. That becomes a lot more of a challenge to keep that belly tight. Let's do 2 more. Last one, press out, let's hold. Now lift the legs up. Lower the legs down. And exhale. Inhale. Two. And one more. Lift up, let's hug those knees into chest. Just give yourself a nice little stretch. So we're gonna do those little tick-tocks and then we're gonna go into circles. So I'm gonna hold on again to my roll and I'm gonna squeeze my legs together, making them one leg, so that as I tip my pelvis, I am tipping the whole lower torso to one side, but my upper back stays firmly attached to the floor. I'm going to pull those legs back up and center, find my center, tip to the other side. Exhale. Inhale as we tip. Exhale, pull the belly in and lift. So you should just feel your pelvis rocking to one side, lifting back to center, rocking to the other side. Last one here. Come back. So reposition your roll if it kind of started to get away from you. We're going to add on those circles to that tick-tock. So we're going to tick-tock it to the right. Now we're going to circle the legs down and we're going to tick-tock it to the left as we come up and center. And tick-tock it to the left, circle. Now tick-tock it to the right and center. Again, right, circle. Keep that belly tight. Keep those legs firmly glued together. Left. So those legs should not ever be coming apart. One more in each direction. Last one. Up, hug those knees into chest and stretch. All right. I'm feeling I'm going to kick this thing, so I'm going to move it out of the way. So we are going to do our short spines, which I haven't done in a couple weeks. So we were on a roll with those for a while. So, and you know, the roll actually makes it easier. So it actually gives us a little lift to begin with. So it's not quite as hard on our abdominals. So we're going to lift those legs to the ceiling. I'm going to put my hands on top of the roll. And as I reach my legs behind me, I'm going to scoop up my belly and I'm going to just send those legs back till they're kind of parallel with the floor. Then I'm going to try to lift them as high as I can without losing my pelvis. Okay, right here. And now I'm going to start to roll down, through my spine. I have a lot of pressure in my arms, and I'm going to softly put my pelvis back to that roll. I'm going to send my legs down towards the floor until I feel my abdominals begin to connect. And then I'm going to lift again. Everything, think of slow motion. Scoop and gather up your belly. Reach those legs behind. Lift the legs. Slowly roll. Nice and soft landing. Have you guys been watching the rockets that Elon Musk has been watching them land? He finally got one to land correctly without blowing up. I don't know which is more fun, watching them blow up or watching them land.
Knowing that there's nobody in there is fine.
It's fine, right? Take it behind. I just think of it right now, right? Okay, his rocket goes up to straight and then it comes to a nice soft landing. That's exactly what I'm
Without blowing up.
Without blowing up. All right, one more time. Down and up. And last one, reach it back. Nice big stretch. Lift those legs and curl down. All the way. Bring those knees or those feet to the floor and just let yourself kind of stretch. You can bring the soles of the feet together, open those knees out, and just find that stretch through kind of the groin area, as well as maybe a little bit of the back. If it bothers the back here, keep the knees up, please, okay? No pain in that low back. And just let your body relax. How are we doing? Oh, we have time to stretch. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna do one last one here. We're gonna bring those legs up into that tabletop position. We're gonna take our right leg to the ceiling. We're just gonna finish this off with a single leg circle. So we're gonna let that right leg open out. We're gonna circle it around and down. We're just gonna do this a few times. Up, open. So what I like about the roll here is you can really feel the back of the pelvis on the roll with that horizontal roll. So you don't wanna feel your pelvis lift or roll up off of that roll. One more in this direction. Reverse. So just letting that leg circle through that hip socket. And two more. Last one. Bring it up, bend that leg slightly, other leg comes up, and open, circle. I'm just letting that leg circle around, keeping your chin parallel with the floor. Don't let it start to lift and poke up to the ceiling. Two more. Reverse. Doing it on the roll is not as hard as doing it, well, it depends on which direction you're laying on the roll. If we were in the other direction, it would be a lot harder. But this position gives us a little bit more stability. Two more. And hug those knees into chest. Nice big stretch. Good. And we're just gonna go ahead and roll that roll out from underneath. And we're gonna come up into our seated position. And we are just gonna finish off with that nice stretch, kind of what we did earlier. We're just gonna bring those legs on either side of the roll. And we're gonna begin, and it's a dive down, okay? So it's a rounded spine. So we just take our head, we kind of dive it towards the roll. And as we begin to dive further, we reach the roll away. And just keep reaching. And now pull that belly button back and start to stack your vertebra all the way back up. Let the shoulders come down, sit nice and tall. Let's do that again. Dive down. Start to round the belly, press out, nice stretch. Pull the belly back. up. Shoulders come down. Let's do that one more time. Dive down, round the belly, press out. Now, while you're here, press that roll a little further away, but then try to straighten up through that spine a little bit. So you're coming more into a flat back. Press the roll further away. Scoop again, let the head come down. Let's do that again. Reach the roll out, flatten that spine as much as you can. Pull the shoulders down, lift the chest towards the roll. Scoop, one more. And press out, straighten. Scoop and roll it in. And we're gonna set that roll off to the side. And then from here, we're just gonna breathe. So we're just gonna inhale and exhale. One more breath. And inhale, gather up the air. Exhale, press it out. You guys are done.
We're done.
Thank you.